I started working in Japan actually because I was invited there in the early 1980s. I had my small shop here in Covent Garden in London, and a Japanese man, a scout, fashion scout, came to me, and he'd been following a Italian designer, French designer, English designer, and he, luckily for me, chosen me to invite to Japan to meet some companies out there with a view to possibly licensing my name out there. I was like, wow, I'm going to this place called Japan, and even though it was economy and my knees were around my chin, and it took 18 hours, and it was just really exciting to go to this place. So I think the key, I honestly promise you, I think the key to my success has been the sheer love and enthusiasm of going there and not being fazed by the jet lag or the food. I think my approach was different to a lot of the others. First of all, that I was immediately willing to go 2, 3, 4 times a year. And a lot of the designers who I knew that were being invited at the time went once and then didn't go again because they just thought they could do it by fax, as it was in those days, and by, you know, visits from the people from Japan to Paris or Milan or London. And but my way was like, well, you know, I've got to understand how this is all working. So it was very much about sort of finding the niche and finding how you think your clothes could sell out there. It was sort of me immersing myself in the Japanese way in lots of different ways, like with the press, with the people, with interviews, helping them with the shop. So that was the difference. And so many people, unfortunately, just go and just think there's this magic wand will just turn their brand into a famous brand with lots of money, and it just is not like that. The key point about if you're going to Japan, or in fact China or Russia or India or anywhere, but let's talk about Japan, is that first of all, why? Why are you going? What's the point? Why would they need another whiskey? Why would they need another bicycle manufacturer? Why would they need another graphic designer, product designer, fashion designer, textile designer? Because they're brilliant at it and they've got loads of them. So you've just got to ask yourself, what have I got to offer? What's my point? And don't expect it to happen just overnight. And then if you are going, you say, if your brand has started to have some success in England or wherever, Britain, France, then at least you've got a bit of reputation. So you could say, well, in my field, I am now getting a reputation for my brand. So that's a good point. So what you've got to do is make sure that if you're going on a trade mission or via the embassy or through an agent, that your key point, which is the fact we only make organic, or we only make from our farm, or everything is hand welded, or whatever it is, tell them. Don't just assume they know. I mean, the PSmith motto, which has saved me masses of heartache over the years, is never assume. And that's our company motto. And that means that you don't assume they know that you are organic. You tell them. I think the way I approached it was correct for me, because I think I'm fortunate enough to have quite good communication skills, which hopefully I inherited from my dad, who was a very nice, ordinary man, but very good at talking to people. And I think that helped a lot. Communication skills. Go there humble, keep your feet on the ground, try and understand how it works. The beginning of my time in Japan was a bit confusing because it was such a foreign place, which it's a lot less foreign place now because of we all travel a lot more. They quite hard to communicate as a race, because they're very polite, and they will often agree with you around a table, even though they don't necessarily agree. So trying to work that one out is a bit confusing. So, you know, I'd ask the same question in 3 different ways if you could, so you really know whether it's you're getting the correct answer. The key thing is you've got to have a point of view. You've got to have a bit more energy than somebody else, or if you haven't got more energy, you've got to be better or more interesting or more special. Or, I mean, I just get up earlier. That's all I do. In Japan was 3 people, and one person spoke a little bit of English, but the others didn't speak any English. And obviously when you're on jet lag, you're tired, and you've been there for a few days. I used to say, "Oh, I'm so bored now. Can I play with my train set?" So I used to just bring my train set out, or I'd say, "Oh my God!" And then, it's funny enough, they never forgot me. It's funny that, isn't it? But anyway, it did break the ice, and they knew I was pretty serious really, but there was always a bit of fun.